final segment of our program, and we are speaking with Maltese Davis and Bianca Nygaard. Bianca, you have a whole lot of things in store for us for the rest of the year, I hope.
Oh yes, I do. I have a lot of things in store. A lot of people are helping people on the island, and there's so much talent here that I have found. So I can't wait for everybody to come on the show to talk to you.
You know, a whole lot of people tell me that they look forward to these programs that you do, because we are talking about some, if not Bahamian culture, we're talking about health and fitness and all the rest of these things, the lighthearted stuff, you know, because sometimes we get engrossed in talking about politics and other national issues, hot button issues, but she brings the lighter side of things to us, you know, which is very, very good, especially for our weekend programs.
Yes, it's nice.
So your dancers, how many people you have in your troupe? Or it varies?
It varies.
Okay.
It varies. Right now I'm teaching, I think it's like 8 of them, 8 girls.
Okay.
We're working, we're trying to do something different. When you see fire dance again, we want it to be different. We wanted to tell a story. So we're working on that now. We had a break because I just came out of Andros from taking the quadrille to Andros. And we had persons in Andros actually saying that they have never seen something like that before. It was just incredible. And so as I'm crossing all my fingers that something would open, that we would have a theater, somebody would see the vision of selling what we have here. When the cruise ship lands, you would see the fruit vendors or the market girls or the straw dolls welcoming the guests. And then we have Pompey Square downtown that I would love to see come alive one day with some entertainment.
You know, our young Bahamians are buying into other cultures.
Oh, yeah.
And they are leaving their own culture behind. You go to, I'm told, to some concerts and you hear a whole lot of reggae, for instance.
Yes, yes.
And not as much Bahamian music. And so we are mimicking other people's cultures and bringing in other cultures of the world to the Bahamas. And you ought to be exposed to other cultures, but you should have a deeper appreciation for your own, right?
That is so true, but you know, there are a lot of followers, and you know, it saddens my heart when you look and see that some of the other cultures are really supported by their own.
Yes.
They are supported.
Yes.
And so a lot of us tend to go over to a system with supporting.
The question is, how do we have a deeper appreciation for our Bahamian culture? A whole lot of people put blame on the government, and while the government has a role to play, the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture has a role to play in deepening our appreciation for Bahamian culture, we should take some personal responsibility as Bahamians. We in media, entertainers, people like yourself ought to take the responsibility to get the word out there and to do all that we can.
I agree.
Because I've chastised a whole lot of entertainers in the past, including my late friend King Eric Gibson. We used to get involved in some very, very interesting discussions.
Well,
our listeners and viewers would remember we had a roundtable discussion with the late King Eric, the late Ronnie Butler, and others, and we were talking about getting a deeper appreciation for Bahamian music and what it's going to take.
What it's going to take is the support. As for King Eric, I can speak.
What do you mean
for
support?
King Eric.
I mean, you don't. We
All
have,
right.
We have Junkanoo, and Bahamians appreciate Junkanoo.
Yeah. Bahamians do appreciate Junkanoo. And it kind of tells you that knowledge is power. And so a lot of us, if we're not knowledgeable about what it really is, that it's not just you're putting a routine together and trying to sell it. Not with what we've been working with, especially with King Eric. There was always an educational story behind what we were doing. And when we talk about trying to keep our culture alive. It's just like Clifton's Rising, the way the plantation was by the owners was what Miss Chanel Ferguson wanted to see rebirth. It was a rebirth. You wanted to actually see what it was then, now. So the only thing I could have done was use my vivid imagination based on the knowledge that I've gathered to bring this to light. And it's the same with us many, many years ago. Having that knowledge of what it was, what our ancestors were all about, what they had to go through, the slavery, everything.
Yeah. You know, for instance, Ms. Davis, we have Fort Charlotte and the other forts. And it seems to me that for our tourists, we can have Bahamian music and your work on an ongoing basis at some of our forts,
And
so that when our visitors, when they go to these forts, when they visit them, they would be able to appreciate the Bahamian music and see what our culture is all about.
So there it shows you, Mr. Jones. If it was just left for me to take a group of dancers there. Remember now, a lot of these dancers depends on these jobs as a way of, that's their job, a way of living for them. So it's just like allowing the straw vendor, whatever arts and crafts, they can go and they can sell and they can make $1 to take care of their families.
But for a
entertainers-
reenactment, say, of pirates, there could be an entrance fee to Fort Charlotte.
And so it goes back to now that you should have never blamed King Eric or myself, because we can't just go there and do it.
No, but you can you can encourage those who are in authority.
I
You
like
can
that word.
agitate. You can
I like that word.
agitate to make these things happen.
I
Right?
like that word.
And not only you, but people like yourself, who are all of the entertainers, can agitate and encourage the government to create opportunities for entertainers and people like yourself.
I've been trying for
You've been trying?
so many years, yes. Until I myself started to feel like there's no hope, or I have to give up, because I've been pushing in every way. I just met recently with Miss Erica Ingram at Tourism, and it was a pleasure, because this is somebody who has a vision like mine. And so I'm waiting to see it start to unfold and happen,
That your ideas come to fruition. Eh?
Yes, because I've been so pushing these ideas and praying and hoping for an opportunity, even if they feel that they are better choreographers and costume designers, just start doing it. Doesn't have to be for Maltese. Do it for our country, do it for our young people. And I've been fighting for that. And so I still to this day have not let go of the hope. And so therefore here I am teaching with a fee, just to try to keep it alive and holding on to the last straw that it will happen.
You know, when Mr. D. Aguilar, the Minister of Tourism, came on the show with me, and I think Freddie Munnins was there as well, we talked about creating these opportunities for Bahamians and showing the tourists our culture. And so I'm sure they would be receptive to these ideas.
I hope so. I've worked with Mr. Freddie Munnings for many years. That is another culture icon. Like, this man has fought the good fight. Maltese, I want to do this. Maltese, let's do this. So I've been working along with him also, and he too can share his experiences with our hope for something happening. It's just, I'm hoping. I'm going to continue to hope.
You have the last word.
Oh, so don't give up hope, because we'll make it happen, and I know everybody would really appreciate that.
Very good.
Yes.
Very good. Well, thank you so very much, Maltese, for being here.
My
and
pleasure.
thank you for Bianca. Thank you once again for bringing us a wonderful guest.
Thank you.
And you're going to make sure that we see some of that Clifton experience,
Yes,
right?
I
Very
will.
good. Very good.
Yeah, I'll try. Yes.
Very good. Good. Thank you so very much.
Okay.
Thank you for watching and listening to our program today. Good evening, everyone.